Hello.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome to everybody out there in Never Never Land, or
And
Everland.
And always.
I'm
right.
Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
And this is our special music, Eugene Holden.
Hello, everyone.
Who found a challenge first thing this morning. He's in, where in Pennsylvania are you?
I'm in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Woohoo!
Gettysburg, a nice place to be on 4th of July.
Yes, it is.
So it's going to sound like he's doing an a cappella today because there's some technical difficulty in him playing his background music. So we're going to go for it and just do the best we can, right?
That's
Valerie?
right. That's what we're going to do.
And we appreciate Eugene hanging in there and going through it with us.
Yep.
So we're going to start with evocation. So if you would, close your eyes. Take a deep breath, breathing in spirit, breathing in out all concerns. And on this fine, wonderful day, I recognize that there is one power, one presence, one infinite, eternal life force that is in, through, and as all its creation, yet not bound by its creation. It is the source of love and peace and harmony and joy and freedom and power, clarity and guidance and all these things and so much more than I can imagine. But I know it is one life, that life that is my life, that life that is Reverend Valerie's life, that life that is Eugene's life, that life that is everybody that is tuned into this service today. We are all one in that glorious, intelligent presence we call God. And so I bless this day. I give thanks to be alive and awake and aware and to have this opportunity to talk to so many people and to know that we are all guided and directed to this very moment, and this moment is blessed. I know that everyone receives exactly what they need to receive this day, and this day unfolds in all its glory and splendor.
Yes.
For this, I am thankful. For this and so much more, I am thankful. So with this thankful heart, I release this into the love, simply letting it be, and so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
So it is.
So Eugene Holden, here we go. It's going to be whatever it's going to be.
So I am going to do this a cappella because of what Reverend Michael mentioned with the technical difficulty. So you won't be hearing the background music. And I chose this particular song, and it's an old song, and you're going to know it. But what I love about music is that it's timeless, and lyrics always fit the moment of the time.
Yes.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love her and chased from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest and the world will be better for this. That one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to fight the unbeatable foe, and then to reach the unreachable star.
Yay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Eugene.
We love you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Thanks for being such a sport and doing all
You're
that.
welcome.
We'll see you in a few minutes.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, so it's time for announcements. So if you haven't already, like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro, and check out our website at cslnorthmetro.org. You can go to contact us to add yourself to the email list, or if you prefer, you can just send an email to info@cslnorthmetro.org to get added to our email list so that you have all the links and all the things that we're doing all week. And you can also on the website sign up for a prayer request, because we really, really, really love doing prayers with and for people. So, and if it's not enough for us to just pray like remotely for you and you need a live prayer, let us know that too and how to get a hold of you.
Yes.
Because we'd love to do that. We have a Science of Mind discussion group on the 1st through the 3rd Fridays, unless there's 5 Fridays, and then it's the 1st through the 4th at 1:00. And we're doing articles from the Science of Mind magazine and discussing them. But don't let that stop you if you don't have the Science of Mind magazine, because I can get you the information so that you can join the discussion. And they've been really lively. And we had a couple of surprise guests that were ministerial classmates of mine yesterday. It was so fun.
It was.
And then on the last Friday of the month, we have a spiritual movie and discussion. So we do all of those things on Zoom, and we're getting pretty good at it, and everybody's getting good at it too, and we're having a good time.
Yes.
Today's title is Out of the Box and Free. And our reading is from Thoughts Are Things by, I forgot his name, Prentice Mulford.
Affirmations.
Yes. It's time for the affirmations.
Easy for you to say.
It is easy for me to say, and we get to wait for them to come up, just
There
like
they
you.
are.
Yay! You ready?
Yeah. So all together.
The eternal light of the divine shines as my life. I am right where I need to be. I am a powerful healing presence. I take a graceful step towards Spirit's vision. I am blessed by perfect relationships. My spirit soars forward on the wings of joy, and so it is. I forgot to put that in there, I see.
Those are powerful.
Those are powerful. Thank you, Stephen Anthony. Okay. I'm having a blurry vision day, so I'm going to make sure I can read.
It's a good idea.
It is a good idea. This is from Thoughts Are Things by Prentice Mulford, which he wrote in, oh, well, it doesn't matter, a long time ago.
1860 something.
As spirit, you are a part of God, or the infinite force of spirit of good. As such part, you are an ever-increasing power which can never lessen and must always increase, even as it has in the past through many ages, has always increased and built you up. As to intelligence, to your present mental stature, the power of your mind has been growing to its present quality and clearness through many more physical lives than the one you are now living. Through each past life, you have unconsciously added to its power. Every struggle of the mind, be it struggle against pain, struggle against appetite, struggle for more skill in the doing of anything, struggle for greater advance in any art or calling, struggle and dissatisfaction at your failings and defects is an actual pushing of the spirit to greater power and a greater relative completion of yourself, and with such completion, happiness. For the aim of living is happiness. There is today more of you and more of every desirable mental quality belonging to you than ever before. The very dissatisfaction and the discontent you maybe feel concerning your failings is proof of this. If your mind was not as clear as it is, you could not see those failings. You are not now where you may have been in a mood of self-complacently when you thought yourself right about every aspect. Only you may now, looking at yourself, have swung too far in the opposite direction, and because your eyes have been suddenly opened to certain faults, you may think these faults to be constantly increasing. They are not. The God in yourself, the ever-growing power in yourself, has made you see an incompleteness in your character. Yet that incompleteness was never so near relative completion as now. Of this, the greatest proof is that you can now see in yourself what you never saw or felt before. So, you will cease this fretting over your being such an imperfect creature when you find, as you will, that you are one of the temples of God, ever being built by yourself into ever increasing splendor.
Woo!
And so it is.
Take that and contemplate on it.
That's right.
So we're back. He's back. Hey, you got some phones on this time.
I have some headphones on because this one I need to hear.
Okay.
And this is a song that was personally requested by my brother, Reverend Michael Torphy. It is by Nina Simone, and it's beautiful for these times. And it's called "If I Wish I Knew What It Would Feel Like to Be Free."
Oh,
Now,
perfect.
yeah, so I need to hear the music on this one. For those of you who are watching, I invite you to go to YouTube and pull this up. It's Nina Simone. I wish I knew what it would feel like to be free. And check out her live version. It's a beautiful, beautiful song, and it's powerful for these times.
Yes, indeed.
So here we go.
Here we go.
Ba la da ba 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 da da ba da da. Those are not the lyrics. Ba 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 da da. Yeah. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all the chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things that I should say. I say them loud, say them clear, for the whole round world to hear. I wish I could share all the love that's in my heart. Remove all the bars that keep us apart. What I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'd see and agree that every man should be free. I wish I could give all the longing I can give. I wish I could live like I'm longing to live. I wish I could do all the things that I can do. And though I may be overdue, I'd be starting anew. Well, I wish I could play like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I could found that I could fly. I'd soar to the sun and look down at the sea. Then I'd sing 'cause I know, yeah. Then I'd sing 'cause I know Then I'd sing 'cause I know. Yes, I'd sing 'cause I know. I would know as I know how it feels to be free. Yes, I know how it would feel to be free. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Well, here we are. Where'd the Torphys go? Well,
Can you hear us now?
there you are.
Yay! We're back.
I'm like, okay, where'd the Torphys go?
I guess this is just going to be one of those days.
So we might mention that Greg and Sheila, who run our technical end, are in Silverton.
Silverthorne.
Silverthorne, I don't know what. There's Greg, and their speed up there in the mountains isn't as fast as ours. So that's what happens.
So we're just going to keep on.
I'm just going to leave the screen. I'm just going to leave the screen just with the two of you from now on, and I won't try to mess with it, okay?
Okay. So that means you're on all the time, Eugene. No picking your nose. Sorry. Okay, you're on.
Oh, man. I wish I could be free in this moment to focus in on what I want to say. And what I want to truly say is nothing is more at hand, especially now, than this thing we call freedom. There's many ways, as there are people, to describe what freedom means to each and every person. For myself, I think freedom is when we discover that we're not bound by anything except our own thinking. Thinking is what gets in our way. The more we box ourselves up in different areas, the more we lose our freedom. It is said by John 14:2, in my Father's house, there are many rooms. Well, I like to take that to another place and think of it in realms of my own personal life, our own personal life, that in my house, in other words, my consciousness, there are many rooms. And we get to visit these rooms, or we can visit these rooms, or we can not even know they exist. And so because I'm a microcosm, you're a microcosm of the macrocosm, we are small versions of what God is. We create the way God creates through our thinking and through our action. We are eternal. We are profoundly alive and doing this work that we're doing. When I was meditating, I had this vision of going into my mansion and visiting many rooms, and many of the rooms there were boxes, and inside the boxes were all the aspects, all the intricacies that are me, boxed up in a box, because I had put them there, or for some reason accepted something that someone has said about me, and my room became boxed up. In that box is all the stuff that was in that room, all the intricacies and all the charm and all the things that are me. But that's just one aspect of me. It's just one room. And there are many rooms, probably infinite rooms. So it is up to us to visit these rooms and to see where we're being boxed up. I always like to try to start with something simple. I'm recalling back to before I was even in this teaching. I worked for this woman. Her name was Pat Collins, and she was known as the hip hypnotist. And she had a nightclub on Sunset Boulevard where she would hypnotize people and do a little show. Well, I was a bartender there, and every night she'd invite the whole audience to raise their arm and make a fist, and she would kind of put them under and make your arm as stiff like a piece of steel. And people would do it, and then she'd kind of bring them out and bring some people up to the stage. And so I decided to take one of her classes because she taught self-hypnotism classes. So I decided to take one, and she kind of mentioned how we put ourselves in boxes and how we can get out of those boxes by changing little things in our life. So at the time, I was seeking an acting career, and I had this red beard, and people said that I looked like Andy Gibb, and that felt kind of good because Andy Gibb was cool and he was good looking, and I thought, wow. So I got attached to this beard, and my ego wanted that feedback all the time. So I had a hard time thinking, should I cut my beard off or should I not? And it dawned on me that having this beard could limit the amount of parts I could get. Yeah. But there was still a part of me that was boxed up in this box, but I looked so good with this beard and I didn't want to let it go. Well, eventually I did, and a shift took place in my life. And we can all do that. So I'm inviting you right where you are, not in this very moment, but sometime this week, to look and find a room within yourself that has been boxed up, and open that box and look at it and ask it, why is it boxed up? And take the time to unbox it and find what it is that you need to do to let go and discover your true self. Discover that part of you that is sacred, divine, and take one and fill one more room in your consciousness. This can go on forever. I mean, our consciousness is a mansion with endless rooms, as is God, a mansion with endless rooms. So, where was I going? Oh, what you have to understand is once you've opened this box and released the good that's in this room, you need to back it up with constantly giving yourself credit for doing it. That's an important step, because you can be shoved back in. It'd be like being a jack in a box and being shoved back into the box and wondering what the heck happened. So give yourself credit. Make sure that it stays alive, that this discovery that you've made, this room that you stepped into and unboxed the good that is you, that small part that is uniquely you, that is the charming you, that is the intelligent you, and keep giving yourself credit for doing that box, because eventually it'll become second nature and you won't have to think about it anymore. You can enter another room and empty another box. What I know to be true, especially during this time, that if there is one person that isn't free, I'm not free. Mm-hmm. If there's any person on this planet that isn't free, we're not free. And it reminds me of a quote by Rosa Parks. She said, "I would like to be remembered as a person who wanted to be free, so other people would be also free." How do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be a person that is free so you can be a shining example to all those others that have that same opportunity to be free? Well, step into your mansion. Start looking at the rooms. Find a room that's the easiest room to unpack the box. Start there. And you'll find that as you continue to unpack these boxes, it gets easier and easier. And you continue to grow, and you continue to expand. And all those things, as, what's his name, Mulford? All those things that he said all those things that have gone in your life where you felt shame or you felt bad about or you made mistakes, they're all what called you to grow. They're all those opportunities that have called you to grow, that has made you exactly who you are today. This perfect emanation of pure spirit, that you can enter these rooms, you can change and unpack the boxes, you can become what you never thought you could be, but deep inside you, you knew you could be. Valerie?
So I have a whole different impression of boxes when we start talking about this title. When I first started my spiritual growth, which has been a long time ago now, I had this impression of myself. Well, actually, at the time, I was vice president of a bank, and it had taken me about 20 years from starting as a teller to getting promoted and working up and working up and working up and to get in that spot. And so I got introduced to creative visualization by Shakti Gawain was my first one. Anyway, I was just growing and growing, and here I am in this position that had taken me a really long time to get to. And beginning to realize that I was identifying with that position as opposed to understanding who I was. And about that time, I had this vision that I was in this cardboard box and that I was trying to get out of the cardboard box, and there were people holding me in because their vision of me is good little employee, good little daughter, good little this, good little that. And I had bought into those limitations that people were placing on me because that's what I thought was expected of me. So when I think of the box, I think of all of the things that might be holding us back. One of mine was needing to please everybody. Another one was needing to be perfect and never make a mistake. What I eventually learned about that is if you never make a mistake, you don't expand and you don't grow.
Right.
And so to begin to understand that I am going to make mistakes, I am going to say the wrong thing, I am going to blow it sometimes, I am just going to not meet my personal expectations for myself sometimes, and that's okay. And so I'm inviting each one of us to think about what are those boxes that are holding you back. So you can explore all the boxes of all the wonderful things that you are, but I think we need to also, and maybe first, look at some of those places that are holding us back. Is it fear of being accepted? Is it fear of being fired? Or is it more money? What will I do if this happens and I don't have the money? Or somebody won't love me if I don't do this. Or anyway, worry, fear, lack, doubt. Those are things that keep us from being who we came here to be. So if we start looking at them, like really look at them and see what in that is holding me back, and how could I be more of who I came here to be if I just let it go? And so one of the things that happens is those things that we're concentrating on expand. So if I'm worrying about the money, my lack of money expands. If I'm worrying about if people like me, that worry expands. If I'm worried about what's going to happen tomorrow, or am I going to be safe, or all of those things that we might worry about, put your own thing in there. That's what's going to expand, because that's how this works. We're one with the divine as we think we're creating. And so as we're digging through those boxes and looking at those things that no longer serves us, let's make sure that we're looking at them, letting them go, and focusing on what we do want. So the thing in our reading that really struck me the other day was that we don't claim it's not so when we don't believe it's not so. Like Ernest Holmes said, we wouldn't tell a person to throw his crutch down knowing that he can't walk. So we would do that for ourselves too. We would look at it, but we wouldn't start claiming, I have $1 million, because we aren't going to believe that. So what that particular thing is going to do is cause more lack. Do you have something to say about that?
Well, what just came across my mind was a song by Janis Joplin, where she says, freedom is just another word for nothing else to lose. And I think about those times where I hit bottom or something terrible happened to me. And in a funny sense, I felt free, because what else could happen? It was the worst thing that could be happening. And I felt this sort of freedom, because it was pushing me forward past the whatever it was that took place in my life, past that into a higher state of being. And that's, if you look at your life and you look all the way back and all those things that have challenged you in such a deep way, you got by them and you grew, and something wonderful came from it. So sometimes I go into a room and I'm the one in the box. Like I said earlier, like a jack in a box. And one example that I have is, well, I guess I can admit this. I've been married 5 times.
I'm number 5. I have a lot of courage.
I have no brains. But anyway, each time I grew a little more. And each time I started having a better understanding of myself. And I'd go out and make another mistake and get shoved back down in that box. And somebody would start playing it again and I'd pop back out. But eventually I popped out for good. And when I was ready, I attracted the exact person that I needed in my life at that time. And I was freed from that box, completely freed. Do you have any like that?
Any boxes like that?
Yeah.
No, I have different ones.
Okay.
We were talking about this on Friday at our spiritual living circle, that at that point where I was finally the vice president of the bank, I think I identified with that position. And I was beginning to realize spiritually that it didn't fit me anymore, that I wasn't doing anything very important there in terms of helping anybody change their lives or do things, and I also had worked so hard for it, I wasn't quite ready to give up the corner glass office with the mahogany desk and the title. And so I had to work through those things. While I was working through those things, Spirit kicked me in the butt and I got laid off. So that happens too. It's like when we're balancing between, okay, I think I'm ready. Okay, I guess I was ready, because here we go. So those things happen too. So sometimes those things that feel like, oh my gosh, this is the worst thing that could happen, was probably the best thing that could happen. Mm-hmm. The other thing that was going on for me then was I didn't know what I was going to do next, because I'd been in banking for so long. And it would have been really easy for me to just go to another bank and get a job, because I was really good at it. I lived in a small town. Everybody knew me. However, Spirit kept saying to me, you're supposed to find your own way. And I spent a few years still continuing to grow spiritually and finding this and finding that. And it took me quite a while to find Centers for Spiritual Living, which was Church of Religious Science at that time. And I even went to one for a little while and realized, no, I'm not supposed to be here yet. And went away and came back. And that whole time, I was trying other things and working other jobs. And I did a volunteer thing for the Doozer Children's Museum in Grand Junction, where we took it from being way in the hole to actually being a nice, clean, wonderful place where children could play. And so I was doing constructive things and things that felt
self-satisfying.
Well, yeah, but also like for more than me.
Oh yeah.
Like serving the community in a way. And so then when I actually stepped back into the center where Reverend Michael was the minister, it's like, oh, I'm supposed to be here now. And so when the first class came up, I did that. And then the next one and the next one. And I already knew I was going to be a practitioner. And before I became a practitioner, people started talking about, well, when you're a minister. And I was like, I wasn't even thinking about that. And so if we pay attention to those little guides, those little pricks of do this now, even though it doesn't make any sense, this inspiration to, okay, it's time to go check out this center today, or it's time to take this class, or it's time to move, or it's time to journal again, because maybe I hadn't been journaling for a while. I was reminded by my prayer partner yesterday that although I tell people to do that journaling thing, that's stream of consciousness, where you just write until the thing that's in there that won't quite come up comes up. I hadn't done that yet about a thing I was working on. And so it's a constant letting go of that which no longer serves us and recognizing that it no longer serves us, but it's also listening to what's next, and following the guidance, whether it makes any sense or not. Because sometimes at the time, it doesn't necessarily, I mean, if somebody had told me while I was still in the bank that I was going to be a minister, I probably would have laughed. And yet, that's what I'd been being led to for a long, long time, and I just didn't know it yet. So I'm saying each of us is here to learn the things we're here to learn, and we're here to let go of those things that no longer serve us. And so we can just look at those things, and instead of feeling guilty about it, or instead of judging ourselves about it, or instead of blaming ourselves or guilting ourselves, we can say, hey, I just learned something new that I get to let go of now, and I get to step into the new thing. And Spirit is always offering us that new thing.
Mm-hmm. And it's really important, especially nowadays, that we look at a bigger picture too, because our nation is going through such a turmoil right now. People arguing over whether they should wear masks or they shouldn't wear masks. I'm free. I should not be able to wear a mask and give the virus to other people, or people having their necks held down on the ground by police and taking their freedom away. There's just so much we're looking at right now. And I bring it back to, well, if others aren't free, then I'm really not free, because it causes pain in my heart, and pain in my heart isn't a free place to be. Pain in my heart is pain in my heart. And in this time and space, we are the change that we need to see. And I'm so thankful, because back in the 60s and 70s, I was one of those marching people and out in the streets people. And it's so good to see young people stepping up and taking that mantle, stepping out of their box and opening up and being the change in this country. So each one of us gets to think from our own personal place, what box do I want to unpack now? And from a place of society, how can I be of service to change and bring freedom for all?
Yeah, what is mine to do? Because we're learning. So this is a time where all of the stuff that some of us didn't know, or didn't want to know, or didn't want to look at, or for whatever reason, it's all coming up. And that's one of the things that we teach in religious science too, for ourselves personally, but also for our country and for the planet. All of the stuff that doesn't look like peace and like love and like God is coming up for us to heal it.
Yes.
And so, yes, it's painful, and it's also exciting. It's exciting to see so many people beginning to really understand the changes that we need to make. Centers for Spiritual Living envisions a world that works for everyone.
Yes.
Not just some people, not just some countries, a world that works for everyone.
Yes.
And so that's really what we're about here, is as we change ourselves for the better, and as we begin to go out into our community and do those things we're called to do in our community and in our country and in the world. And there are so many people doing so many wonderful things right now. We don't see that on the news. What we see often is everything that's wrong. And that's okay, because we need to know that too. Because how are we going to know what we got to heal if we don't know what it is? It's the same word. So we're opening the boxes of our country, and we're opening the boxes in the world. And as we open those boxes and look at those places and say, wow, this is not okay.
Right.
It's time for us to change, whether it's the laws, whether it's the Constitution, whether it's even how we vote. It's time for us to look at what is it that each of us needs to do, that we all need to do, that our country needs to do, that our planet needs to do, so that we're taking care of our planet. But we're also, and as we're taking care of our planet, we're also taking care of all of the people on it. And it truly is a world that works for everyone.
It's as if our founding fathers found this box and opened it up and found some goodies and started taking them out, and it was like, oh, that's just too much, and closed it back up and kept the rest of it sealed. Well, it's time to unseal the box for good and open it completely up, tear it up, rip it up, and throw it away, and step into the glory and the fairness that our Constitution was written to be, even though they didn't really know what they were doing.
Well, I think they did know what they were doing, and you're exactly right. When they started opening the box, and then they decided to open the box only for rich white men. I read a really long article on that yesterday, and it's like, whoa, there are just so many things that I hadn't thought about and don't know, and now I do. And so
the box is open.
The box is open. And the boxes are opening all over the planet. And yeah, it's a little bit scary. And yeah, sometimes we don't know what's ours to do and this and that. But it's really exciting, because this is a time where we each get to step into our spiritual power, step into who we came here to be as an individual, as our family relationships, as our relationships across the world. It's time for us to all step up and be that spot in the world that works for everyone.
Good.
Yeah.
You want to pray us?
Yeah, I'll pray us. Okay, so just breathing in love and peace and joy and wonder and excitement and glory, and breathing out all the fears, all the things that hold us back, all the doubts. Just breathe them all out. And then breathe in again, and breathe in God, and recognize that God is thinking our thoughts, breathing our breath, beating our hearts. We don't even have to think about beating our heart or breathing our breath, because it's done for us all the time. And so as we trust that divine intelligence to just let us know what's next, we are aware and informed of what is ours to do. And so I'm just so grateful to know that each and every one of us is one with the one with the all, one with all that is. It's my life. It is Reverend Michael's life. It is Eugene's life. And it is Greg and Sheila's and Stefan's for writing the affirmations, and all of our members and all of those people that come to see us when we're open and are watching us now. But everyone everywhere is one. Mm-hmm. We're all one. There is no separation. It is all one thing. The planet, our rivers, our thoughts, the galaxies, the infinite universe. It's all one thing. And so as each of us understands what is ours to do, what is next, what box needs to be opened, what thing it's let go. What thing needs to be embraced? Because that's who I came here to be.
Yes.
I know that that's the truth of our being. I know that in our oneness, we are creating a world that works for everyone. We are stepping into our power and also making sure everyone else has the ability to step into theirs. And so I just so gratefully pass this word to Reverend Michael.
And so from a deep place within me, I bless this spiritual center. I bless Centers for Spiritual Living. I bless all the churches and mosques and temples across the world, knowing that as we unite and respect each other, the world begins to change.
Yes.
And I recognize that the change that's taking place now is for the highest and best good for this planet.
Yes.
As we continue to tear down the old and build the new.
Yes.
I'm so very grateful to know that each person watching this broadcast this day receives these blessings that I send out to you with love and light, and know that whatever is happening in your life that you want to change, I embrace that and know the truth for you.
Yes.
And so with a deep heart of gratitude, a deep heart of gratitude, I can now release this word into the love and into the law, knowing it is done. And I simply say, all together.
And so it is. Yay. Great. So.
Okay, we got another song by our friend Eugene in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for speaking about the box and coming out of the box. And of course, that tune kept going around in my head. Bum, ba, bum, ba, da, 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 ba, dum, ba, dum, ba, da, da. Right, but it is really an interesting time that we are living in, because it is time to get out of that box and maybe even crush some of the boxes that no longer work, especially those boxes that we put ourselves in.
Yes.
Or the boxes we put someone else in.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my goodness. No, let's not talk about that.
That's another talk.
I think it is.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. All right. We're
Okay.
ready to listen to you.
One of my favorites. Time for stepping out of place. Get up on your feet and give account of your faith. Pray to God or something, or whatever you do. What I see can make us stop and stare. But who am I to judge the color of your hair?
That's right.
Surely you are feeling much the same as I do. We got to get this all together. Got to keep it moving straight. Love like we've been forever. So the people can relate. If you're rolling to your left, don't forget I'm on the right. Trust and forgive each other. A little love and we just might. Yeah, yeah. Gotta do something. We gotta do something. We gotta do something. Yeah. Thinking of the troubles of today. Is it easier to put that gun away? Or is it difficult to stop the world to show that you care? Here's the thing. Everything and everybody is beautiful. Surely you can be the guiding light to save us all. Maybe we can be the vision of a prophet man's dream. Cause we got to keep this world together. We got to keep it moving straight. Love like we've been forever. So the people can relate. Oh, if you're rolling to your left now, don't forget I'm on the right. Trust and forgive each other. A little love and we just might. Yeah, yeah. I have something. Do you have something? Cause I have something for you. I have something. Do you have something? Cause I have something for you. I have something. Do you have something? Cause I have something for you. I have something for we've got to get this world together. Got to keep it moving straight now. Love like we mean forever. So the people can relate. Love rolling to your left now. Don't forget I'm on the right. Trust like we mean forever. A little love and we just might. We got to get this world together. We got to keep it moving straight. Love like we mean forever. So the people can relate. Remember, always remember, if we're rolling to the left now, don't forget we're on the right as well. Love like we mean forever. A little love and we just might. Yeah. Peace and blessings.
Yay. Thank you.
Well done, my friend. Under interesting circumstances, well done.
Right. And so, it's our conscious gifting time. This is our basket that people put their money in when they were here. And so we're going to just put that money from wherever it comes from the PayPal or the website or text or all those
Venmo.
places. Venmo.
Venmo.
So you can go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and you can use PayPal or another giving site. You can text You Give to 888-364-GIVE, and you can pay with Venmo, and we're CSL North Metro. So let's just know that the blessings in terms of money and funding that we need are coming in, and
we're thankful.
Yeah. And so give from your heart. If this is meaning something to you and it's helping you, give from your heart, and we just, Bill, you're going to bless it, right?
So together we give thanks. Say thank you, Spirit.
Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you,
Spirit.
Life.
We're so grateful.
We're so grateful.
We send these gifts out into the world.
We send these gifts out into the world.
Freely knowing that they touch many people.
Freely knowing they
touch many people.
And with a heart full of gratitude.
With a heart full of gratitude.
Full of gratitude.
We accept the good in our lives.
We accept the good in our lives.
And together we say.
And together we say.
And
so it is. Amen. Woo-hoo. Okay.
One more song.
One more song.
One song. Another one of my favorites, and it's, these songs that I come up with, well, they come through me. Well, anyway, so again, music is so beautiful and it's timeless.
Yes.
And for us to come out of the box, for us to get it together, for us to live that impossible dream, it all takes that power of love.
Yes.
Yes.
All the colors of the rainbow, all the voices in the wind, every dream that reaches out to find where love begins. Every word of every story, every star in every sky. Every corner of creation lives to testify. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. I'll be the witness in the silence when words are not enough. With every breath I take, I will thank God above. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. From the mountains to the valleys, from the rivers to the sea, every hand that reaches out, every hand that reaches out to offer peace. Every simple act of mercy, every step to kingdom come, all the hope in every heart, which people love has done. Woo! For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. I'll be a witness in the silence when words not enough. For every breath I take, I will give thanks to God above. For as long as I shall live, I will testify. I will testify to love. Woo! I'll be the witness in the silences. The words are not enough. With every breath I take, I shall be thankful to God above. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. I'll be the witness in the silences. The words are not enough. With every breath I take, I will give thanks to God above. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. I'll be the witness in my silence when words are not enough. With every word I think, I shall thank the God above. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. Testify to love.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo! Thank you, Eugene.
Can I get a witness?
Hallelujah.
Amen. Amen, brother. Way to sing.
Thank you.
Well,
Good.
thank you again for doing what you did. I can't think of anybody better to have done it that way than you.
Thank you. Thank you,
You
brother.
did it with so much soul and so much heart, and we send you thanks.
Yeah, and love. We love you.
Yeah, I'll be a testify to that.
Yeah.
It's been a long, long time with this love affair. It's been great.
Yes, it has.
That's right.
So I'm
continues to be great.
gonna benedict us out of here and wish everybody a wonderful week.
Fantastic.
So it's with a grateful heart that I give thanks for this wonderful time we've all shared together, knowing that every person received exactly what they need to receive and go out into the world and give their love and their light to the world. Blessing this time, blessing this week, knowing everything is in perfect order, I can let go, let God, with a loving heart, simply let it be. And so it
And
is.
so it is. Ashe and amen.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone. Hopefully, we'll see you next week.